Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I wanted to I wanted to talk about the Nolan well situation, and I was trying to wait to see if any new evidence came out before I actually just kind of spoke on it, watching it in the news, and then of course on social media. Everybody seems to be talking about it. For those of you that don't know, real briefly, Nolan Wells, 18-year-old college football player, on July 4th, took a trip he was in Mississippi, took a trip on a boat. He's a black kid with three white friends to an island, I believe Horn Island. And ultimately, they came back. He didn't. He was the only black one. And there's a lot of discrepancy as to what really happened. He said he was going, some say he said he was going to go back with another crew. Some say he got into a confrontation with somebody. Then his phone and his keys was with the original crew. So everybody's trying to figure out, well, what teenager would leave phone and keys. But then if you're going for a swim, you wouldn't take your phone. But then if you are riding back with somebody, or getting a ride on a boat with somebody else, you still wouldn't leave your phone. So at the end of the day, I would say there's more questions than answers. But I wanted to talk to two groups of people just real quick. First group I want to talk to is the Caucasian community. And this is me speaking from the heart, hopefully from a healthy place. Grew up in the Midwest, had confrontation with obviously racist Caucasian people. Didn't make me a racist. Also military all my life. So I don't fall into that category where I think everything is one side. I've been in the country, out the country, around the world. I'm very familiar that everybody has their own vice. There's good and bad in every culture and community. If you look hard enough, you can find anything. Have had run-ins in the early '90s with the real Ku Klux, so I'm very familiar with certain things. But I want to say to the Caucasian community who may not understand the uproar coming from the black side about the event. And I want to say this, there are certain things as a Caucasian person you simply can't understand. This is not me trying to victimize the entire black community. This is true. There are certain things you're just not going to be able to understand. Good, bad, indifferent, right or wrong, it don't matter. There's certain things we can't understand. It's just you have to walk, as they say, never judge a man unless you walk a mile in his shoes. That's this is true. The outrage in a lot of the black community is this. We know if the shoe was on the other foot, meaning if four teenagers took a little trip to go to an island, and I'm going to embellish a little bit. Maybe we know there's some women over there, some freaks over there. We're 18 years old. We football players. We athletes. We got heavy balls. We some bulls, and we going to Horny Island or Horn Island. I'm just embellishing the story, switching it around. And four teenagers, three of them were black, and one was Caucasian, went to an island like this. The three black boys come back home, had the phone of the Caucasian boy and his keys, but don't know what happened to him. Tom told us he was riding back home with somebody else. He was going to catch a hitch with somebody, with a crew that they met on the island. Some freaks they met up with. Tom said he gonna ride back with them. 3 black boys back on the coast. Caucasian boy show up in the water. We know that the FBI, major crime, every diving specialist, the ones who teach diving for the Navy SEALs, the submarine instructors for the Navy, with every forensic scientist on TV and in real life would have been at that scene. And we know, again, this is not me victimizing. It's not me victimizing. This is what life has shown. Them boys would have been charged with something. Neglectful, isolated, incidental homicide, whatever you want to call it. That's what we know. So when we know that, there's no way 3 black boys could have came back and a Caucasian boy in America ended up washed up in the water and them boys would not have to pay. We know that. And because we know it, there's some outrage as to why there's so much more questions than answers in a situation like this, particularly in a state like Mississippi that's known for mayhem going back years. Remember the movie? Y'all grew up in the 80s and 90s, Gene Hackman, Mississippi Burning. Go watch it, and then you'll understand. The whole state don't represent, of course, just like anything else, but Mississippi, certain states, they have a reputation. Okay. That's why the outrage of certain blacks is so high. But let me also speak to the black community. Because when the situation went down, I'm seeing a lot of black people talk about, especially women, even some men saying, I told my sons when they were young, be careful around them white boys. You can't trust yourself around the white kids, can't trust yourself around white folks, can't trust yourself, don't be alone, don't never go off in a group with them, don't trust them. They always out for your downfall, blah, 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 blah. And to them I say, stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Because another thing that blacks know, even though we not quote unquote allowed to say, is this right here. If you had to choose between your son going to a house party with all black kids 17, 18, 19 years old, or go to an island with 3 white boys same age, y'all know good and well y'all would choose that he or she would go with 3 white boys. Y'all know good and well that y'all will feel much safer. Yeah, I know you ain't supposed to say it. I know we supposed at this point be outraged and outlandish, and white people can't be trusted, and they look every white person looking for the first chance they get to hang us up in the tree, throw us in some water, feed us to some hogs. Fried green tomatoes, shout out. Turn us into some barbecue. Yeah, I know. If you honest, black folk. And again, it definitely looks suspicious to me. But I'm gonna let the evidence speak for itself. They've hired some private investigators. They've hired some different things. They got a separate autopsy. Then they taking the body to D.C., Washington. They gonna get a real look at what's going on. And I can assure you, if the teenagers are involved, somebody's gonna crack. You ain't that good. I don't care how easy they make certain things look on TV. There's certain things when too many people are involved, we just not gonna be able to hide it. They will get to the bottom of something. But let's stop. As the young folks say, let's stop the cap. All of this, I told my kids this and that. I never wanted my kids to hang out. If you had a choice to send your son, 18 years old, to a house party with other YNs, or you had a choice for your son to be the only black kid with 3 white boys going to an island to swim and feel on a little booty, y'all know good and well which one y'all would pick. Like I said, this situation has way more questions than it does answers. May God be with the Wells family.